So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so good to be back. I can't tell you. I'm just so grateful to be here. There's a wonderful, wonderful melody, which some of you may know, to Lecha Dodi, but some of you may not know the melody. So we're going to begin it as a nigun. So by the time we get to Lecha Dodi in about 3.5 minutes, you'll all know the melody. And it goes like this. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Let's do it again. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Wish I had maracas. Die, 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 die. Die, die, die. Die, die, die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Beautiful.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Well, like our ancestors, we now have a tent. It's a work in progress, so we're working on the lighting. We'll get that taken care of shortly. Like everything else, a work in progress. But our very own Oel Moed, a tent of meeting. Now, unlike our ancestors' tent, ours has no golden rods, acacia wood, or dolphin skins. Ours is of a more modest design. But like our ancestors, what we do in this tent will make it a sacred space. It is here that we will welcome God's presence. We will bring our prayers, our yearnings, our regrets, our hopes, and that will make this space holy. In Psalm 27, traditionally recited each day of this Hebrew month, Elul, we read, "Just one thing I have asked of God, only this do I seek, to dwell in God's house all the days of my life, to behold divine sweetness and beauty, and to gaze in delight at God's temple. God shelters me in times of hardship, shields me in a tent of divine protection. Let me make offerings in that tent, the offerings of a joyful cry. Let me sing hymns and celebrate the one who is eternal, Adonai." Let us make an offering in this tent. Let us welcome God, each other, and Shabbat with the kindling of the Shabbat candles.
And so our Banot Mitzvah for tomorrow, who are on our Zoom screen, Avery Brooks, Julia Surowitz, and Sophie Gingold will be lighting candles at home, and we'll light our candles here as well.
Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue our welcoming of Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. Tonight we will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. I know you're shocked. At verse 9, please rise and face, if you're at home, a doorway, or here we'll just face the entrance to the parking lot.
I hope you remember it. לך דודי לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. Here we go. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה. All right. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, 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 שתדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. Okay, last chance. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
I invite you to remain standing, and if you were following along in your service booklets, we continue on page 1 with the Baruch Hu.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Barech HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam
We continue in Hebrew with Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chokhma poteach she'erim, uvit vuna mishenei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, sader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem, barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai Sivaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yomloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ma'ariv Aravim.
The words are simple. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with love, joy, and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace and lead us to your name. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace. Gather us in peace and lead us to your name. As we lead us to your name, and you will know that we are one. And we will know that you are one. Gather us in peace. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace. As you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
They are.
We are now invite our bat mitzvah for tomorrow to lead us in V'ahavta, Avery Brooks.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzaveka hayom alevavecha v'shinatan levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivteha b'veiteha uvlekteha v'derek uvshokbeha uvkumeha uvshartam leo dayadeha v'hayu letotavod b'neineha uvtavtam amizuzot beiteha uvishareha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim leloheihem ani Adonai Eloheihem asher hotzeit yethem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem lelohim ani Adonai Eloheihem.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Beautiful job, Avery, for those in the
Beautiful.
congregation. She did a wonderful job.
Beautiful. See you tomorrow.
There were no signs. By walking, I found out where I was going. By intensely hating how to love. By loving whom and what to love. By grieving how to laugh from the belly. Out of infirmity, I have built strength. Out of untruth, truth. From hypocrisy, I wove directness. Almost now, I know who I am. Almost, I have the boldness to be that man. Another step, and I shall be where I started from. We continue with the words of Micha Mocha.
Yam bye ba bim bim bam, yam bye ba bim bam, yam bye ba bim bim bam, yam bye ba bim bam, I die 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 die, yam bye ba bim bam, I die 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 die, yam bye ba bim bam, micha mocha, Ari Madonai, micha mocha, Nedar ba kodesh, Dorati Lord. Oh, Sefella, Dorati Lord, oh, Sefella, Mahale Chutecha, Lauvanecha, Bokeya Hayam, Lifnei Moshe. Ze Eli, Anu ve'yameru, Adonai Imloch, Le'olam ba'ed. Yam bye ba bim bim bam, yam bye ba bim bam. Yam bye ba bim bim bam, yam bye ba.
Thankful for, we're back on. Please write that in the chat box this Shabbat, and I'll start. I am thankful for, we have a new nephew that was born a day or two ago. Ariel's sister had a baby, Isaac Lane, which we are very excited about. If there's any other joyous things this Shabbat, I invite you to say that. Our granddaughter learned to ride a bike, wonderful.
Wow.
That's nice. Anything else? Yes. Wonderful. Girls are away for 2 weeks and the schools are still open. Yes. First days of teaching in person. Wonderful. Anything else to celebrate this Shabbat, this joys of Shabbat? In the chat box, please write as well.
Shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת Shabbat vayinafash veshamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue with the Amidah. We invite you all to rise, and leading us in the Amidah is our Bat Mitzvah for Monday, Sophie Gingold.
Adonai, Sefer Tatifta, Ufia Gita Hilateha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zoker Aser V'Mahot, U'Mevi Galal Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shema B'Hava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gabor Le'Olam Adonai, Hayeh HaKol Torah Le'Yoshia, Mered HaTov, Milchei Hayim V'Hesed, Mayeh HaKol Be'Rahamim Rabim, Somek Nofim V'Efel Holim, U'Matir Asirim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar mihamo hapal gevuro umedo mela melech mimi umahaye umatz miyakishua v'neman atah lehayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mayeh hakol.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Beautiful job, Sophie. We continue with Psalm praying. I invite you to be seated.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו אמן, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל.
As we prepare for the High Holy Days, we use some of our liturgy, some of the poems that we will find in our mock store in just 2 weeks. And so I share this one, Mishaberach, a prayer for healing, a prayer for those who are ill and for givers of care. May the Eternal One who blesses all life bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness. Our synagogue community thinks of Zalman Ben-Dina, Gabby Kraft-Buckman, Susan Klein, Summer Curter, Susan Robb, Linda Rabino, Arlene Furman, David Bregman, Neil Silverman, Linda Fleischer, Bernie Weinstein, Larry Maslow, Mason Rockmore, Martin Ostroff, Don Hirsch, Pearl Weitzman, Aaron Taylor, Mike Blumenfeld, Marissa Fisher, Perry Shellman, Susan Schneider, Sharon Neese, Rabbi Rob Nasenchuk, Emily Tucker, Andy Scotorius Diori, Nicasio Gritana, Stacy Whitfield, Nate Maslow, Shirley Rosenberg, Lauren Zinstein, Barbara Puglisi, Justin Jeffers, Sharon Zinni, Kenneth Diamond, Joyce Kagan, Carol Thau, Jean Barrett, Kathleen Murphy, Leonard Silverman, Marv Gersten, Giza Batchaim, Raziel Uvracha, Gloria Ostracher, Luca William Batisto, Ina Bat-Vevel Draymond, and Bill Ward. And if you are thinking of someone, I invite you to write their name in the chat box. And if those saying, our congregation tonight, saying those names out loud. May we whose lives are touched by illness be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring. May we experience the support and sustenance of family, friends, companions, and community. May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for refuah shlema, precious moments of healing, and a sense of wholeness in body and soul. May those who care for the sick with their hands and their voices and their hearts be blessed with courage and stamina. May those who pursue healing through medical skill and knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and compassion. May all of us, the sick and the well, together find courage and hope. And let us say, Amen. And to the names I read out loud, we also remember, I think of Eric Schwartz and Ellen Sabin. As we think of those who we love and those who need extra healing, we also know that on Shabbat we balance both of those feelings of wishes for good health, but also wishes for great joy as well. And as I shared, we have 3 Benot Mitzvah this weekend, and it's our honor to invite Julia Surowitz to lead us in Kiddush. I invite all of you to rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uratzon, hinilanu, zikaron, lema'aseh bereshit. Ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zeher litziat mitzrayim ki banu baharta uvotanu ki dashta mikol amim v'shabbat kadecha ve'ava uratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim, great job.
As you can see, we are really lucky this Shabbat to have 3 wonderful Benot Mitzvah. You all did an amazing job, and Cantor Novik and I can't wait to celebrate with you and your families this weekend. It's been a long wait for all of you, but we're glad that you are rescheduled, and I think this long weekend will be wonderful weather too. Please be seated. Again, we apologize for the light for those who are watching. We checked this out, but of course we didn't do it at 6 o'clock in the evening. Lessons learned, but I hope the sound is better and everything like that, this Shabbat. And it's wonderful to be with people as well. It's been a little lonely leading services in a box, and it's nice to be a part of a community, both virtual and in person. So thank you all for being here. There are familiar lines in this week's Torah portion, not because they are necessarily memorable words of Torah, or because they have entered our prayer book, like the Shema and V'ahavta that we read a couple of weeks ago, but because they have entered another much-loved text, namely the Haggadah. Harami Oved Avi, my father was a fugitive Aramean. He went down to Egypt in meager numbers, but there he became a great and populous nation. The Egyptians dealt harshly with us, oppressed us, imposed heavy labor upon us. Adonai freed us from Egypt by a mighty hand, by an outstretched arm and awesome power, and by signs and portents. God brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Wherefore I now bring the first fruits of the soil which you, Adonai, have given me. They seem to be a part of a story, telling historical narrative that we Jews seem to specialize in. Hence, their place in the Haggadah. But they also comprise of an early ritual for expressing gratitude and bringing first fruits, bikurim, to the priest. Once the people were settled in the land of Israel, they would offer these first fruits. And our ancestors were commanded to offer God a basket. But beyond the physical act of bringing this gift, the ritual required each person making the offering to recite the passage that I just read. It was a unique combination of doing and acknowledging, and what some scholars say, the ideal ritual. Rabbi Wendy Geffen points out a snag, though, in this ritual. She discusses the Mishnah and says, those who knew the words of Mikra Bikurim recited it from memory. Those unfamiliar with the script would have to repeat the words after the priest. As a result, many of these presumably less educated Israelites felt shame and stopped bringing the first fruit offerings altogether. Concerned that not every Israelite would thus be able to participate equally, the Mishnah offered a corrective measure in which everyone, regardless of education, had to repeat after the priest, thus preserving the dignity of the undereducated and allowing the return of a regular ritual performance for all. But then Rabbi Wendy Geffen writes, in the very next Mishnah, another disparity between the people who brought the offerings. The wealthy brought first fruit baskets made with gold and silver, whereas the poor, they brought simple baskets woven with tree branches. However, unlike the previous teaching, the Mishnah simply ends here. There is no indication that shame about their meager baskets prevented poor people from participating in the public mitzvah of bringing their first fruits. Nor is there, as we might expect, a rabbinic mandate for rich and poor alike to bring a wicker basket as a means of equalizing this part of the experience. It is a very contemporary reality. Being undereducated is a greater shame and is a greater obstacle than being poor. Poverty did not limit participation in the first fruit offerings, but being undereducated did. This maybe goes against our natural assumptions, but it speaks volumes. Whether they intended to or not, by raising educational disparity as such as powerful obstacle to equal participation, the rabbis of the Mishnah highlighted an important understanding about ending poverty, discrimination, and injustice. Not only can the lack of education be a source of shame, perhaps even more embarrassing than poverty, but it also can be a significant obstacle to overcoming poverty. Unfortunately, we know that one of the greatest impacts of COVID-19 is its effects on the education system. As our school districts begin to open up, either in hybrid or all virtual model, we know that depending on where you live, the type of school you enroll in, and your access to Wi-Fi or quiet space to study will affect how much one may be able to learn this year. And we all know that virtual learning can't completely replace in-person learning. Like virtual praying can't completely replace in-person praying. For disadvantaged students, the stakes are even higher. 30% of all K through 12 public school students, about 15 to 16 million children, live in homes that don't have internet connection or an adequate device for distant learning at home. The lack of access, coupled with inadequate help at home or a quiet place to learn, means that lower income Black and Hispanic children may struggle more with learning, deepening the divide within our education system even more. Education is a critical component of poverty reduction. Many organizations throughout the world have focused on shrinking the divide between our learners. One organization here in Westfield, connected to Temple Emanu-El, is trying to do the same. Michael Saxon has just created UNinja with a bunch of his friends, Union Innovation New Jersey Alliance. This organization is collecting old laptop computers and refurbishing them to give to students. Currently, the laptops are stored in the Levy House, and once we're back open in full, our hope, Michael's hope, is that through the Westfield Fun Club for Refugees and through our congregation, we can teach individuals how to redesign a computer and other skills needed. Societal change and equalization cannot and will not occur unless and until we have empowered people with the knowledge and skills to raise their status in the world. The Torah portion and the Mishnah about first fruits offers a model of equalized opportunity for our ancestors. Maybe we can do the same. Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher Koach, Rabbi President.
Beautiful.
We continue with Aleinu on page 4 of your prayer booklets. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Our mission is to plant ourselves at the gates of hope, not the prudent gates of optimism, which are somewhat narrower, not the stalwart, boring gates of common sense, not the strident gates of self-righteousness, which creak on shrill and angry hinges, nor the cheerful, flimsy garden gate of everything is going to be all right, but the place of resistance and defiance, from which you see the world both as it is and as it could be, as it will be. The place from which you glimpse not only the struggle, but the joy in the struggle. Our thoughts turn to loved ones whom death has taken from us in the last 30 days. Kathy Pomerantz Feldman, sister-in-law of Terry O'Dara. Melvin Berry, father of Ben Berry. Elaine Isaacman, mother of Ellen Albertson. Myra Teplitsky, mother of Deborah Weinstein. Gail Vernick, mother of Mark Vernick. Lottie Oster, mother of Stephen Oster. And we recall Julian Greenspan, who has died but not yet been buried, the father of Jonathan Greenspan. And if there are other names you are remembering, I invite you to submit them in the chat box. And we remember those who died at this season in years past and whose yahrzeit we recall this Shabbat. Dorothy Aronson, Morris Barron, Russell Becker, Florence Bimstein, Helena Bokor, Irina Buckler, Ruth Cohen, Mary Davidson, Anna Diamond, Pesach Kaufman, Emanu-El Jerminsky, Celia Goldman, Bernice Goldstein, Jacob Gottlieb, Minna Griebel, Samuel Harris, Herb Heller, Nathan Hirsch, Mary Hoffman, Ruth Israelo, Helen Kalish, Isaac Kaplan, Harry Kay, Aaron Levitt, Lottie Lewis, Charles Mayoud, Sylvia Madoff, Sylvia Mendel, Claire Muroff, Milton Nayowitz, Leon Netsky, Lillian Neubauer, Jack Resnick, Alfred Rose, Dorothy Rosenfeld, Irving Rosenhan, Sylvia Sand, Jack Sandler, Rose Schlisselfeld, Lena Schwartz, Pearl Shotland, Martin Schulman, Abraham Silkowitz, Naomi Steiner, Edward Sudfield, Howard Sweetwood, Joan Talvey, Celia Tannenbaum, Jeanette Rose Tell, Max Tischler, Louis Turkel, Ira Weinberg, and Joseph Weinberg.
We also add Lee Greenberg, Rabbi Mark S. Shapiro.
Our hearts open as well to the wider circle of loss in our community And wherever grief touches the human family, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing now and always. Please rise for the mourners' Kaddish. We join together. Yitkadal v'yitkada shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra kirte v'yamlik malchute, v'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chayeducho beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivarach le'elam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yit'ar v'yitkamam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei getusha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'miran v'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony in high bring peace to us and to all Israel, and to which we all say, Amen. You may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Just a few quick announcements. Thank you for all who are joining us this evening. We wish you a healthy and safe, long weekend. A couple of upcoming things. You might have, or you should have received our enrollment for our High Holy Days. If you would like to join us in person for any of the High Holy Day experiences that we are offering outside, including Erev Rosh Hashanah, the end of Yom Kippur Nila, we have a special shofar program, as well as a pre-Kol Nidre meditation with cello. Please register, space is limited. It will be in our temple parking lot with socially distant circles, mask wearing, but we'll be able to pray together, which will be really wonderful, as well as it will be live streamed. We are also preparing for the High Holy Days through our Elul project. So if you're interested in reflecting on a day during the month of Elul, please let us know and we'll get you in touch with Samara Schwartz, our Youth Learning and Engagement Director, who it's been really nice to prepare us for these days. They're on our Facebook page and also on our website, so you can watch a short clip for each day. On Tuesday at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, forgetting 8 o'clock, we have a wonderful artist, maybe influencer, I would say, who is going to teach us how to design Rosh Hashanah palette, watercolor palette cards, not whitewater, watercolor palette cards to prepare us for that day. And so these are greeting cards that you can send to your families, but also to mark the moment. So please join us for that. That's virtual online. Any other programs? Oh yeah, next Friday. Thank you. Next Friday at 7:45 will be all virtual. We will have an installation. Will be installed. My family will be on screens. Our temple community will be on screens, and we'll have special guests. I hope you can join us 7:45 that evening, and then at Sunday from 10 to 12, we are going to have a High Holy Day drive-by. We are ready. Mike has been working really hard to make sure that everyone can get a machzor for the High Holy Days. We're going to be handing out yahrzeit candles, bags we can start collecting for food. I found out that we are, for the Westfield Food Pantry, we're on the top 3 food drives of the year, so we need to make sure that we continue that tradition, as well as a special treat as well. So join us from 10 to 12 next Sunday, rain or shine. We're so glad that Cantor Novik is back to celebrate Shabbat with us and the holidays, and we're excited to continue these days leading up to Rosh Hashanah, preparing ourselves, and so we'll prepare ourselves with our final song.
So we're going to sing Avinu Malkeinu as a nigun. The reason I chose it as a nigun, although you're welcome to sing the words, is because for me, preparation for the High Holy Days is a very personal and quiet and introspective place for me. So please join me again if you feel like singing the words. You may sing the words. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov to our Benot Mitzvah. I hope that you can join me and my family at 7:45 next Shabbat online as we get to mark this moment together as a community. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yay.
If you want to unmute yourself on screen, you can wish each other Shabbat Shalom. Nice to see Jackson, our rabbinic intern's nephew, on. Shabbat Shalom. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Oh, there it goes. Shabbat Shalom, all.
Shabbat shalom.
Hi, Daniela. Hi, Carolyn Rich.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey, hi guys.
Nice to
Hi Carol and Jean. Hi Danny and Cheryl. Hello, Lashers, wherever you are. Mazel
You
tov.
should be able to unmute yourself. Oh, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi Kroloff.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi Korla.
Shabbat shalom to all.
Thank you so much.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi Kola.
Who was that?
That's Jill. Jill. Victor. Jill Morton. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Good.
Very good.
Hi, Jackie. Hi,
Everybody's well.
yeah.
Stay well.
Thank you. You
well.
too.
You too. Okay.
Yeah, then you can zoom in, I think.
Shabbat shalom.
Hello. Okay, Shabbat shalom.
Come on.
You're on video.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Enjoy the weekend. And those have children and grandchildren going back to school,
Right?
be safe.
Mine are already back.
All
Well,
right.
they had one day in Governor Livingston in person.
Yeah.
And then virtual. They offered just one day.
Oh,
But Mountainside is 5 half-days in person at
and our
school.
grandson in Maryland is completely virtual through the end of January. Only virtual and through the end of January, and then they will reassess.
Wow,
So
yeah.
Smart
Yep.
way. That's smart.
I think so. I think, who knows? Who knows? Our daughter-in-law is running a program at the JCC in Austin, where I think we have it at our JCC here too, where kids come with their schoolwork, with their Chromebooks, with everything, and then they're supervised, and they're made sure, you know, someone's making sure they're doing their assignments, someone is there to help them. It's not, you know, it's not inexpensive, but if you have got working parents that can't be home, or, I mean, I don't know how you work. I mean, they are home, but how you work and supervise young children going to school.
Right.
I'm glad we're not doing that.
Right, I know. A lot of our daughter in Westchester, the families are forming pods.
Yep.
You know, groups of 3 where they can get together at different kids' homes.
That does make
All right,
sense.
good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Did they
It's
say
a
at the
lot.
beginning how many people were outside?
Yeah.
No?
Well, now they're under the tent, which we
No, I
haven't
know.
seen.
How many people were
Yeah.
under the tent?
Yeah, do we know how many were under?
No, it'd be nice to know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, and how big that tent is.
Right. Well, the sukkah's going up, but it's going to, yeah.
The sukkah is going up, and we're decorating it?
Yep.
No, you're putting it up.
No, the men are putting it up.
No, the ladies are doing it.
I don't
might
think
need to
so.
do a better job.
I don't
See
think
how
so.
that works out.
I can tell you.
All right, we'll see. All right, bye, everybody. Have a
Bye,
good weekend.
everybody.
Seeing you.
Good weekend.
Wait, where's
Susan,
the,
back from the shore? Did you have a nice time? Yeah.
Kellners? They
Susan
still
and
there?
Kyle, you down the shore?
who was
Yeah,
down the
it was
shore?
great.
Nice.
It was great.
Susan,
Yeah.
did you go to LBI this year?
We did. It was great.
Good. Yeah, we
We
didn't,
went down on the 22nd.
Yeah.
and we did not, we didn't go down there, and we didn't even do a day trip. We didn't do
No.
1 minute at the shore this year.
Still can.
Phone is
Great.
ringing.
Oh.
They're
Crazy
extending,
year.
the lifeguard stay, I heard,
Yeah.
for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
down
not going. At
Oh,
this point,
crazy.
I'm not going. All right, getting off, the phone's ringing. Bye.
there. Okay.
Sorry.
Bye-bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Nice seeing you. Susan, see you next week.
Yes, see you next week.
Okay, take it easy.
Welcome. No? No, because we might be off now.